guys, how's it going and welcome back. So today is the review of the Fender Squier Telecaster Classic Vibe 50s. And this is a right-handed version. A lot of you know I play lefty, not righty, and been playing lefty my whole life. Righty, not so much. And this one's made in Indonesia. Okay, I don't know how well you're going to see that, but this is an Indonesian-made one. And very impressive. Nice thin neck on this thing, very smooth. Has polyurethane coat on this thing. Neck and body, it's got a pine body, maple neck, maple fretboard. There's not a whole lot of different species of woods here. Not that I really believe in tone wood anyway. But it does have a bone nut, which is nice. It's got your vintage bridge system, so you've got the 3 barrel saddles on this thing. Now these ones are also grooved. I've seen these both ways, grooved and ungrooved. Grooved is better. Your strings will actually go in the right place. String through body is also very nice. Okay. Now, once this thing acclimated to the house, I actually did have to put a very, very super thin shim in the back of the neck, right about, you know, in this area here at the back end, to just lift the neck just a hairball. And I had to play with the truss rod a little bit and tweak it in, and I still have a little bit of relief, which is good. I don't like running a dead straight neck. And of course the vintage tuners on this, I'm getting used to these, and they're actually working quite well now that I'm learning how to use them right. They're a little different than a standard tuner. These ones, I find you have to drop them down a lot further and bring it back up to get them to really stay solid, and when you do that, it really does hold its tune very well. The single coil pickups, of course, are their vintage pickups, and they are really nice sounding pickups. I'm very impressed with these. Way better than the ones that were in my Affinity Tele. That was a nice Telecaster, by the way. But I prefer the finish on this a lot better on the neck. I prefer just the whole guitar better. So I actually ordered in a left-handed version of this same classic 50s Vibe series. And the end result is we ended up having to order one in right from Fender. So they've been sent notification of the request. We're waiting to hear back from them to see if there's any more left in stock, because not one of the Long McQuaid stores has any brand new ones left. We thought they had one, turned out that was wrong information, so it's like, great. No used ones to be had now either, so it's kind of like, well, I don't really care, because I wouldn't buy a used one anyways. I want brand spanking new, you know. But not that these are expensive guitars, because they really aren't. Like $549 is not expensive. The left-handed one actually went down in price to $449. Now, I may have paid $559 because it was an old stock price and nobody lowered it. I don't know, and I told them I don't really care. I mean, I paid what I paid, and you know, I'm going to save $100 on the new one. Great, works for me. You know, I'll be happy. That kind of balances things out for me. Either way, I like this guitar, and I'm still using the factory strings on this thing. I'm like, they're still clean, you know, and they're still holding tune, so why not just leave them here until I kill those suckers? Then I'll change them. And it does use 942s on this guitar. It's really nice, very low action, you know, so you can, you don't even have to press hard, because if you do, you're going to be playing out of pitch. They're a medium jumbo type fret. Plays nice. I like it. Very nice. Very smooth neck. The polyurethane coating on this is actually not sticky. The last one I played on years ago, when it was at Music City, when I first saw these, the poly coat, whatever it happened to be at the time, felt very sticky. Didn't really care for it much. I was actually playing on a left-handed one then too, and I kind of like, you know. Thinking back, I should have gotten it either way, but you know, it's kind of like, didn't really like it. So whatever they've done to change things in the poly coat, this one's smooth. It's very smooth, very slick, so that you're not getting hung up. My hands don't sweat either way, so I wouldn't know if there would be a problem with the poly coat with sweaty hands, because my hands don't sweat when I play. But I'm getting more natural at holding the pick the same exact way I do with left-handed, same as my hand. I'm getting used to the whole loosey-goosey deal. And I'm getting better at hand dampening too, which is kind of good. I still screw up here and there, but I mean, I'm not that great after a week, but I'm a lot better than I was when I first started, a week ago. The advantage I have is the fact that I already know how to play guitar, and I've been playing left-handed my whole life. So what I'm doing is I'm just reversing that knowledge backwards, and then I'm forcing it through as much as I can, because I kind of don't want to have a lot of patience for, having to wait maybe a year, to get really good. I want to get really good, and I want to do it now. And I'm kind of stubborn that way, so when I'm determined to do something, I tend to, follow through with it and just do it. But nonetheless, I'm really enjoying this. Like, it's a very comfortable guitar even to sit with. Whether your leg is crossed like mine is, or if I'm sitting on this little cool chair I picked up at Lon McQuaid too for musicians. And, I can adjust the foot part any way I want and still sit comfy. But I am really liking the guitar. There's a lot of range in the tone control and the volume. Like, that's the tone. Volume, lots of range there. Middle position. So let's go bridge first. Let's find ourselves some distortion here. What's this one? This is called Metal Stack. I still really kind of suck a bit, so take it easy there. It's not like I'm a beginner. I've only been playing my whole life, but left-handed, not right-handed. So there you go. So I'm bound to suck for quite a while before I really get the hang of it. But anyways, let's go back to my favorite setting. We need volume for that, though. I still have a problem hitting that D chord. So So right now I'm not worrying too much about playing songs as much as I am about getting my strumming and my chording under control. That's the most important thing for me right now. Playing songs is going to be later. I got to switch between all the chords I know, you know, so I got to get that under control first. But it is coming along easier, and I'm getting more comfortable, even with the power chord stuff. You know, going back and forth like that. I never used to be very good at that at all. Like, I used to really suck royally. You know, I could barely do it, right? And now it's a lot easier. One of the things I used to have problems with too was remembering, oh, what chord am I on? Because I'm like upside down now, right? So now I kind of like decided I'm going to focus a little bit, because that helps to focus. And so it's like, okay, so this is G, this is A, this is B, you know, this is E, D, C. All right, so we got that, so we know where our sharps are from there too, you know, and we know what our F and our F sharp and so on. So we just kind of go with that and figure it out from there. And, you know, my regular chords, you know, down in this area, you know, even in here. It's getting that strumming under control too. Sometimes I'm losing the pick a bit where it starts to stick out way too much, and that's bad. You know, that's why they tell you, you know, like 1/4 of an inch is more than enough, and, you know, optimal control, especially if you want to do hand dampening too, like. So I'm getting a lot better at hand dampening right away. I'm really forcing it. And this guitar is really helping a lot because the guitar is so well set up, has such a nice thin profiled neck to it. It really makes your life a lot easier. So my little bit of advice I can give you guys, one, pick up a guitar like this. These things are awesome if you want to spend the money on it. If you want to, you know, get even a cheaper guitar, a thin, narrow neck is beautiful to play on. Because especially if your fingers are shorter, like I don't have super long fingers, you know, so for me, a thinner, narrower neck is always great. My Jackson has quite the wide neck compared to this. Now, I can play that guitar really well too, but as far as right-handed goes, this is my only righty in the house. The other 10 are lefts. But, you know, this makes it so much easier for me to learn on, having that narrow neck with a really low action. And I like a low action on my guitars regardless. I'll never change from that. So, but even do these scales. I've only got maybe not even 10 minutes of doing that sort of thing, and already it's coming along really good. So my brain is starting to flip, and that's the big thing, is my brain has to flip. My body muscles, my spine has to twist the other way. Everything has to flip the alternate direction, and it's starting to cooperate more and more. Because just doing that scale thing, like a couple of days ago, I couldn't even do that, you know, and it was like, you know, and I want to do that stuff, right? You know, because I would be like, because I'm used to this, right? Because I'm going, when you're left-handed, you're actually going the opposite. And so to get it to go this way, you know, that's kind of weird. I still got to get the pinky involved. My fingers need a lot more stretch work. And one of the things I do for the stretching is this little exercise. Now, once I get my fingers to stretch properly, I'll get a lot better at chording too. So, but of course, cracking the knuckles really helps a lot too. But overall, it's a great guitar. I really love it. The bone nut is nice. Everything is nice. The vintage tuners are, you know, they're good. They're a little different. You know, you got to tune them down a lot further and then tune back up, and then they hold. I had the guitar tuned up yesterday, put it back on the wall, grabbed it today, and I only had 2 strings that were a little bit out. No big deal. So that was actually pretty good for just all that. You know, and they weren't out by much. I mean, enough you could tell, but they weren't out by much. But I really got to start holding this pick a lot tighter. So, I would recommend this guitar, no problem. What is the downsides to this thing, though? It's such a great guitar. I've been saying through the whole video, such a great guitar, such a great guitar. What's the downside to this thing? Well, one. I only have one complaint about this guitar, and I think it might be an easy fix, and that's with my Boss wireless system. So, you'll notice I have a nut in my hand. Okay, I have to put this nut over top the wireless, and then I can plug it in, and the light goes on. Okay, now if I take the nut off, it still plugs in all the way, but the light won't go on. It's got to be pushed in just a hair more. Okay, and then it'll be like perfect. So what I got to do is remove this nut. I got to put one washer in there, tighten the nut back down, and it should be fine. Okay, other than that, that is the only complaint I have about this guitar. The pickups are great, everything is great about it that I've mentioned. You know, like I said, it did have to acclimate to the house as well, which, I mean, you'll find the same thing with any guitar. You know, when you buy a brand new guitar, they say, you know, 24 hours, leave it in the box, especially if something was shipped to you. And 24 hours is best, right? Minimum, so that you can avoid any kind of shock, especially in cold weather shipping, right? That's the main thing. Warm weather really doesn't make a difference. However, your guitar still has to acclimate to your sea level, your humidity, your heat in your house, you know, your temperature in your house. And that takes almost a week. Okay, in fact, with this thing, it took about 3 or 4 days, and then that's where I had noticed the buzzing finally coming up, and I had to shim the neck with a little micro thin shim and adjust the truss rod, and I have no buzzing anywhere on this thing now. It plays beautiful, and I still have, you know, room on the neck that, you know, if I wanted to go a little straighter, I could, but I think for me, this is perfect, you know, for my kind of a setup, and I always like to have a little bit of relief anyhow. You know, I just prefer it. But that is the only real downside I see to this thing, is that there will be some wireless systems, especially the Boss, you're going to have to add a washer to that nut. Okay? You can't just add another nut on because there's not enough thread. But there is enough playroom to add a backing washer in behind that nut, and then the nut should sit flush, and you should be fine. And I'm going to do that modification and let you guys know how that goes. It should go perfect, though. But I'll mention it on another video once it's been done. But otherwise, yeah, she's a great little axe. I love the butterscotch blonde. It's kind of my thing, you know. So I'm really hoping that Fender has another one of these things in stock, you know, that they can ship out to me. So, but of course, be left-handed, right? Anyways, so where's our star rating sit? 4.5 out of 5. You know, gets dings, it's not perfect, and it gets a little bit of a ding because I gotta modify the stupid jack just to get my wireless to work properly. However, with a cable, it'll be fine. With wireless systems like X5, the new one from NUX or NUX, and many of the other ones out there that are, you know, trying to look like the X5 system, those ones should all be fine, okay? Theoretically, they should all be fine. But the Boss one definitely has an issue. If you have a Joyo wireless set, now let me just put the guitar down for a second here. If you have a Joyo set, I have a set still, these will not work, period. There is no way you will get the Joyo to work at all. Oh, there we go. Let me just unplug that. So when you, this is your transmitter, okay, for your Joyo. So you can see it says transmitter on there. When you plug it in, it can't even take a twist and it flies out. So not a good thing, not going to work. So even plugged right in, I found that it still wouldn't activate the signal because it didn't lock, the jack clip didn't flip into the little locker here. So that was a problem. So the Joyo set definitely will not work at all. But with the wow, after we put a washer in, we should be fine with the Boss, because I can turn this round and round and round and it won't go out. So that's actually a good sign. But anyways, that's where we sit with this guitar. I'm going to enjoy this guitar for many years, like the rest of my life, because I don't see this thing going anywhere at all. I really, really like this. Out of all the right-handed guitars I've owned, and I've owned other right-handed electrics, okay, this has been the most beautiful playing instrument out of all of them so far. And, you know, and I can set guitars up extremely good, but this one, this is just, it's so nice, and the neck is so just the right of everything for me anyways. And I really like it. So, you know, you can't really complain if you really like something, right? But, and the pickups, like I said, the pickups are great. You know, they're set just right for their heights, everything, you know. So, pretty awesome guitar, I think. Anyways, so that's it. I just wanted to, you know, tell you guys what I thought of this thing, give you some background info. Also, you know, a little bit of playing for you, you know, not a whole lot because I still suck. But do check these things out if you are interested in a classic vibe. There's lots of righties to still be had everywhere, from what I've been seeing. Lefties I'm not sure of. I'm just hoping Fender's still doing them, because I really want the left-handed version of this same exact guitar. I don't want a 6-saddle Tele again if I can help it. But I do require a Tele in my collection for left-handed. But yeah, it's a great axe, so I'm gonna definitely enjoy this one. And by the way, this thing is heavy. You know, look up the specs if you want all the full specs on this thing. You can look up the full specs. I will have what I can in the description box below for specifications, as well as the link if you want to get one of these things from Long McQuade, or check out all their Teles online. Go into their nearest store. If you're not in Canada, you've got Guitar Center, you've got all kinds of music stores in the States too, and there's other music stores in Canada as well. I just prefer to deal with Long McQuade because they are outstandingly awesome, okay, over any of the other dealers we have in Canada. That's just my opinion and my experience. So, but definitely. All right, so I got to get out of here. You guys have fun. Thanks for being patient and kicking around for this video and listening to what I had to say, and hope you enjoyed my absolutely sucky playing. Let's look forward, though, to some really awesome playing on this thing, hopefully over the next several weeks anyways. Things should be getting much better, and once I feel competent enough, I will do a really kick-ass video for you guys of me playing this Tele. So until then, we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. See ya.